What's good, y'all? So I know you guys are used to 2K videos on this channel, but I wanted to just kind of try something new and just talk straight basketball. If you like 2K, you most likely like basketball, so hopefully you guys enjoy this one. And what I wanted to talk about specifically in this video was my hometown New York Knicks and the incredible turnaround season they've been having this year. So the Knicks started the season a little subpar, I guess you could say. On December 3rd, they were 10-13, and that was right after a blowout home loss to the Dallas Mavericks. I know specifically I was watching that at work. It was a Saturday midday. I was at work. I watched it. I left at halftime because I was going home from work, and I was like, oh, we should be pretty valid. Got home, turned on the TV, and we were down like 30 plus points. I remember after watching that game, I thought, all right, this Knicks team is not really what it is. The mid-3 is real. We don't have anything going on right now. But boy, was I wrong. Right after that game, the Knicks went on to win 8 games straight. And there were some, given games in there, teams that are weaker. But they did beat the Cavs, the Kings, the Pacers, and the Steph Curry-less Golden State Warriors, which, they've been doing pretty good without him so far. But me being a Knicks fan, I know it can't all be sweet roses and everything going throughout the whole season. So right after that, of course, the Knicks went on and lost 5 in a row. But the silver lining in that was some of those games were really, really close. Like we lost to a 50-point game by Pascal Siakam. That doesn't happen often. We lost in overtime to the Bulls after beating them twice. And then we lost to Luka Doncic's 60-point, 20-rebound, 10-assist triple-double. Obviously, there's no context in the win-loss record. It's just wins and losses. But when you put context to those 5 straight losses, it kind of makes them better, I guess you could say. And then right after those 5 losses, we went on to win 4 straight right after that. So it's been a roller coaster this season. As I'm recording this video, just last night, the Knicks did end their 4-game win streak to the Milwaukee Bucks. It was a close, hard-fought game, but they couldn't do it. So now they sit at a record of 22-19, which is good for 7th in the East. But as you most likely do know, it's been super tight in the West, in the East, throughout the whole NBA. There's a lot of parity going on. So even though we're the 7th seed right now in the play-in, we're only 4 games back from the 4th seed and having a home court advantage in a playoff series. And in this video, I wanted to give a Knicks fan's perspective on who and what are making us so good and helping us turn our season around. I want to start off with the obvious. Julius Randle, he's our best player. He should 100% be an all-star this season. He's been killing it all year. On the season, he's averaging 24 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists, and he's shooting it pretty decently while doing that too. 46% from the field and 34% from 3. But when you look at his stats from the turning point, that's what I'm going to call it. December 4th is when we started our 8-game win streak, so I'm just going to start calling it the turning point. When you look at his stats from the turning point, he's bumped it up to a whole new level, an all-NBA level if you ask me. 28 points per game, 12 rebounds, 4 assists. And the best part about this is the efficiency did not fall off whatsoever. He's shooting 45% from the field and 35% from 3 during that time period. And that's a pretty substantial amount of games played if you ask me. It's 17 total games from December 4th to today, which is January 10th. I also do want to quickly highlight Julius Randle's defensive effort and just effort as a whole. His whole body language is completely different this year, and I'm loving it as a Knicks fan. 2 years ago when he had his most improved season, he was ecstatic on the court. He was making buckets, smiling, laughing with his teammates, all that. Everything was good. Then things got a little bad last year, a little shaky. He was taking some heat, and he was just terrible. The thumbs down on the fans and everything like that. He was unengaged a lot of the times in defense. It's been a completely different story this season again, and I can't thank Julius Randle enough, man, because when he does show 100% effort, he's a big guy. He can play some defense, man. He can really, he's big body. Last night, he was bodying up on Giannis throughout the night, forced him to travel a few times, got some blocked shots and stuff like that. That's what I want and need from Julius Randle. If you haven't already voted for All-Star, make sure you vote Julius, man. Now I'm going to get the other obvious one out of the way. Our other star player, Jalen Brunson, man. I cannot tell you enough how much his impact is felt on the basketball court. The Knicks have not had a point guard like him since I couldn't even tell you when, man. Pretty much my whole life, I feel like we haven't had a point guard as good as Jalen Brunson. Now, when I was talking about Julius Randle, I talked a lot about how his play and his stats got a lot better, which kind of forced the Knicks to be a better team. When I'm talking about Jalen Brunson, that's not the case. His stats pretty much are identical. From the beginning of the season until now, is 22 points, 4 rebounds, 7 assists. That's what JB is going to give us. The The one thing that did go up since the pivot was his three-point percentage though. On the season, he is shooting 38% from three, but since December 4th till now, he's shooting 44% from three. This season, Jalen Brunson has been really working hard on getting his dribble pull-up three into his bag, and he has finally gotten it, man. He can do that all the time, dribbling around screens too. We have a lot of big bodies on the team, so those screens hit hard for him. You know, whether it's a pull-up mid-range, he's got that three like I was saying in that arsenal. He really just runs the offense, which has been amazing. And he's also a huge vocal voice and lead by example type of guy on defense. He's one of the league leaders in charges taken. He shows a whole lot of effort no matter what, always diving for loose balls, diving out of bounds, doing that. JB, him on this team, I'm just loving so much. Now that we got the two obvious people out the way, you know, those are our stars. If you had to ask a random person if the Knicks are good, they would probably assume they're playing good. The guys I really want to talk about is Immanuel Quickley and Quentin Grimes. Now, Immanuel Quickley has been showing glimpses that he could be a great NBA player since his rookie season, man. Whether it was the deep pull-up threes or just, you know, the flashy passes, whatever it was, he was showing he could be something. And he built upon that last season, too. Towards the end of the season, when he was getting more minutes, we weren't playing for anything. He was killing it, man. Even got a triple-double off our bench. And he started this season a little shaky with the shooting and on offense. He wasn't really doing too much, but his defensive presence could be felt 100%. He was arguably our best perimeter defender. So besides the elite level defense he's been playing since the beginning of the season, as a total, his counting stats are 12 points per game, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, and he was shooting 42% from the field and 33% from three. Since the pivot though, in those 17 games, he started 8 of them by the way, he's averaged 15 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists on 43% from the field and 35% from three. That may not sound like much change with him, but trust me, if you've been watching the games, you know Immanuel Quickley has been on a different level this season, especially in these last few games. Like I said, bro, his defensive presence, he's got them long arms in the passing lane, stays in front of his man, and then he just makes the right play. His floater is unstoppable, a very willing and capable passer, shoots the three ball. He's been getting better with that as the season goes on. I cannot stress enough how much I love Immanuel Quickley. Before this turnaround, he was even in trade talks, which is insane. Now the Knicks have cut that off. They've realized they've finally woken up and seen what they have with IQ on their team right now. So they shut all that trade talk down, and I'm glad for that. And I'm saving the best for last. This, in my opinion, is the most under-the-radar reason why the Knicks have been so good since this turnaround, and it is the emergence of Quentin Grimes. So over the summer, Quentin Grimes had a fantastic going over in Vegas at the Summer League for the New York Knicks. Led them to the Summer League Championship where they lost to the Trailblazers. But nonetheless, he still played his heart out, played fantastically, and was even the front runner for MVP at one point. He did get a little tweaked up over there in the Summer League though and missed the beginning of the season. Then he came back and was playing little minutes here, just wasn't really able to get into rhythm. But let me tell you, once he got into rhythm, he was in rhythm. For the season as a whole, he's averaging 10 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists on 46% from the field and 37% from three. When we look at the stats since the pivot though, he bumped it up to 14 points per game, 4 rebounds, 2 assists on 45% from the field and up to 39% from three. Quentin Grimes is by far the Knicks' best and most pure three-point shooter on the team. As you guys know, the league is just all about the three-point shooting, so it's very important you have a guy like that on your team, and Quentin Grimes is being that guy for the Knicks. Whenever Quentin Grimes is on the court, you could just feel a whole different vibe going on the offense. Opposing players know they cannot guard off of him. They know they got to stay tight to him, whether he's creating his own shot, attacking a closeout, or just making a catch-and-shoot jump shot. He's making an impact on the offense. Throughout these past games, too, I've realized he's becoming more of a willing passer and a fantastic acrobatic finisher. As I was saying before, guys know they can't play off of him, so when he attacks them closeouts, he's able to do those up and under, around the backboard crazy ones, and also when he's driving, he'll dump the ball off to Mitchell Robinson or do a nice bounce pass kick out to Immanuel Quickley. Whatever it is, he's making the pass, he's making the play. And I've gave all this praise to Quentin Grimes so far, and I haven't even touched on the fact that he is one of the Knicks' best perimeter defenders. He's got great size, great quickness, hand quickness, and feet quickness in that too. He'll be able to stay in front of his man, swipe down at balls, stay in the passing lanes. He is just a fantastic defender. I remember last night, against the Bucks, Giannis was coming straight hard down the court. You know how Giannis comes down the court, pause. He just swiped the ball away, got the steal, went to a fast break, bumped it up to Emmanuel quickly, easy layup. Things like that, those are the impact plays that I need and want on my team. Since December 4th, the Knicks have been 12-6, which is the 5th best record in the league during that time frame. Their offensive rating has been the 4th best at 118.9. Defensive rating has been the 2nd best. You know it's a Tom Thibodeau coach team. They're going to have a good defense, and their rating is 109.9, giving them a net rating of 9, which is 2nd best in the league, and their point differential is also 2nd best at 154. I know I just threw a lot of numbers at you right there, but that just goes to show you how good the New York Knicks have been since that fatal December 3rd crushing blowout home loss to the Dallas Mavericks. And one of the craziest things about this stretch too is the Knicks have been pretty banged up during it. Obi Toppin has missed the entirety of this turnaround for the Knicks, and he's been one of their best three-point shooters, really helped them with the spacing there. That's not even mentioning the energy that he brings to the crowd, especially when they're in the MSG. He brings a lot to the team, and he was replaced by Jericho Sims, who has been doing fantastic minutes. He's been giving the Knicks fantastic minutes in his loss, but like I was just saying, Obi was one of the Knicks' best three-point shooters before he went down, and Jericho Sims is not a three-point shooter, so that was definitely felt by the Knicks. Regardless, though, I do want to give out to Jericho Sims. He's filled in fantastically. And I've gone through this whole video without mentioning the Knicks' third best player, RJ Barrett, right there. I'm even wearing his own hoodie right now. He has been hurt. He's missed. It was a pretty gruesome injury. Once you heard the details, his bone popped out of his finger and cut it, it's very nasty. But he's been missing a majority of this run also. With the All-Star break coming closer and closer, you hope that the Knicks can come back to full strength sooner rather than later. And with the trade deadline creeping up on us as well, you kind of got to start to think, are the Knicks going to make some moves? You know, they got Cam Reddish, who's been frustrated with his role. I'm frustrated with his role also. You got Derrick Rose, who has a decent-sized contract that's movable when he's not getting PT. Evan Fournier is only playing spot minutes right now since RJ Barrett is out, and he has a very movable contract. So you kind of got to start to think what the Knicks are going to do for the future. For the first time in a while, as a Knicks fan, I could say I'm very happy with the future for the New York Knicks. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you leave it a like, subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Let me know what you think about this new style of just talking about NBA basketball. You know, at the root of it, that is my passion, NBA basketball, more than 2K. So if you guys enjoyed this video, just make sure you leave a comment, like, so I know. And also comment down below who you want to see a video, what team, what player, what do you want me to talk about next in the NBA world. In the description, there's links to all my social media, so make sure you follow me on all those to keep up to date with me. Catch y'all.